Hello, it's Michelle Ruth, and we're going to be doing the shadow wrap short row heels. And I have a sample set up here with some ribbing and some stockinette stitch here. And we're going to do the heel in this color just to make sure that you can see it in detail. So I have 28 stitches on each side, but we're only going to be working on the first half on this magic loop. So to start the shadow wrap heel, we're going to be knitting across to the last stitch, and it's very easy to do this heel. It's symmetrical on both sides, and you'll see as we go along. So first, simply start with a new color, and then we're just going to simply knit across to the last stitch. And I'll meet you when I get back here. Okay, so we've just simply knit across and we've come to that last stitch. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a twin knit stitch. So basically, how to do that is, you know how these stitches, they have the two legs. Well, we're going to take the mother stitch from below, not your working stitch, the stitch below, and we're going to grab that right leg and we're going to put it up on that left needle. We're going to hold the stitch here in place so we don't accidentally knit it as well, and we're going to put a knit stitch in there and then put that stitch back to the left needle. So now you can essentially see that we have twins coming from the mom stitch below. Now that that's been done, now we turn our work. Now we're going to purl across to the last stitch. And when I get to the last stitch, I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so I have purled across to my last stitch, and of course, because this is where we started with a new color, I'm just going to hold on to that yarn, that tail, to be able to show you. Now we're going to do the same thing as we did on this end, but in the purl version, and this makes it symmetrical so that you're doing the same thing on both sides. So with the purl stitch, we're actually, because we want that leg, the mom's leg, on this side, but it'll be on the left side on the purl side. So you take that stitch over, then you grab the mom stitch below, and then you simply purl into that stitch and then bring those two stitches back to the left needle. So now you have a purl version of a twin. Okay, now we can turn our work again. Now you're going to continue in this manner, working back and forth, creating these twin stitches as you go in, and the rows get shorter and shorter until we have 10 stitches left. So I'm going to continue working this across. So now this is the knit side, simply work across to the last stitch. So each row you're getting shorter and shorter as we build the one side of the heel. Okay, so I get to this twin stitch, I'll show you what I do next. Okay, so I've knit across and I've come to the last stitch before the previous twin, and again, same thing. I'm going to take the right leg of the mom stitch below, pull that up, hold this top stitch out of the way, put that on the needle, and then knit into that mom stitch, put it back to the left needle where we've created a twin. So now there's two twins, and you keep working evenly, so you have to have the same amount on each side. So again, I will purl back and then create another purl twin at the other end. Okay, so I've come to the last stitch before the previous purl twin stitch, and again, same thing. Work this over to this side, a stitch, pull the mom up, and then work a purl into it, and then bring those 2 stitches back to the left needle. So you have another twin stitch. Again, turn your work and then keep working until you have 10 unworked stitches that don't have twins to them. When I get to that, I'll show you how we then start building back up for the second half. Okay, so now you can see that I've worked my short rows back and forth, and how I have 9 twin stitches on this side and 9 twin stitches on this side with 10 left in the middle. And the way that we came up with this is basically you divide your stitches into thirds to come up with the heel section. As you can see on this pair, that this is how we've worked it. Okay, so right now we've worked this side, and now we're going to continue to work this side, and I'm going to show you. But it leaves a beautiful, nice, no gaps, no holes, nice finish. And of course, these are the knee-high socks. All right, so now we've come down to, we have these last 10 stitches across. So again, simply knit these across. This is what I love about this. There's no thinking really involved or counting or anything. You just come to the stitch and you're just gonna know what you need to do. Okay, so we just knit across these 10. Okay, now we come to the first knit twin stitch. We simply knit it like as if it was just one stitch. Okay, now because we need to build upon, and each row is going to get longer, what we do now is we're going to create a triplet the same way we created the twin. So we take that mother leg, bring it back up, hold the twins over here to make room, put that knit stitch back on there, and now we have triplets. Simply turn your work, and then we're going to go back, and when we get to the other end, we're going to create a triplet in that purl twin stitch. Okay, so I've purled across, and I've come to my first purl twin stitch, and I'm simply going to purl it as one stitch. Then I'm going to take the twin, move it to the right needle, grab the mom below, and create another sibling. There we go, and move the triplets back to the left needle, and then turn your work. And again, knit across till we get to that triplet. Now you don't have to do your heels in contrasting colors, but for this demonstration, that's what I've done. And I like it in my knee-high sock pattern. As you'll notice, there's 28 stitches across, which is the exact same in the knee-high sock pattern. Okay, so you get to the first triplet. All you do is just knit it. Now again, you're going to create a triplet on this stitch. So you pick up the mom stitch, and then you create the triplet. There we go. Turn your work. How easy is that? And it leaves such a beautiful finish. And keep going in that manner. So again, I'm coming up to the purl side of the first triplet there. And when you work these stitches, watch your tension. Don't have loose floppy stitches, and don't have them so snugged up, because you are creating triplet stitches that you do need to work. So you don't want them so tight you can't even work them. So that first triplet, again, you simply purl it like as if it was just one stitch. And then with the next one, again, gonna create the third sibling. And then put them back on the left needle. Okay. And then again, turn your work. And we're gonna do that until we have one left on each end. Okay, so you can see we've come to the last row where we have a triplet down here. It's the last one. And I'm just coming up on the purl side, and we're going to be working, purling this triplet. And then we have the last triplet to make. Oh, did that wrong. It's just the purl. Okay. Gonna hold this tail. It gets a little wonky because of the different color. There. Let's hold it out of the way so I can get that triplet in there. There. Now, because it's the last one, I don't have to bring it back to the other needle, because now we're gonna simply just go back to our regular knitting in the round. Our heel is actually complete. So now all we need to do is pick up our white yarn where we left off and just simply continue working the pattern as, you know, as it's required. So I'll tuck this one back here. I'll pick up my white yarn and I will simply knit that first triplet, and I will snug up the tail after if it's slightly loose, but for the first couple of stitches, split a stitch there. Simply knit that triple and pull it tight. And again, I'm going to be pulling these. So you snug that one up, snug up the second one as well, and then just simply continue knitting across. When you get to the last triplet, just knit it as if it was one stitch and keep working your rows as per your pattern. Okay, and as I've shown you before, here's what your completed heel is going to look like. Okay, so I will finish working a few more rows to show you what this looks like after it's got some more rows of white on it. Okay, now we've added some extra rows just to give you a good idea of what it's going to look like. The shadow wrap short row heel, no gaps, beautiful finish. Doesn't affect if you're doing stripes. You could also work this in a toe-up sock as well. It works perfect with my flower knee-high socks. The more stitches you have in here, the deeper the heel's gonna be. Maybe you need that, but for my flower socks, this works perfectly with the 28 stitches pretty much divided into 3, which leaves the 10 stitches in the middle, and the rest doing those twin and triplet stitches to get the 2 sides. And there you have it. Thanks for watching.